Okay, we're recording. Okay, folks, we need to finish our timpani unit. We're almost at the end. Yay! So exciting. Okay, what have we learned about timpani? Tell me everything.
There are 4 to 5 drums.
They all tune to certain pitches. You don't want a timpani at the very bottom or the very top of its range, or it's going to sound like crap.
Balance, action, pedal. Great.
Different mallets make different sound, just like everything else.
Okay, good. Technique.
Hit drum like yay far from edge,
Yeah, just swinging it. How are we holding the sticks?
like any other.
Just like we hold our snare drum.
Do the French style or the, is it German style or standard
People
style?
say French, people say German, people say American or New York, Cleveland. There's a bunch of different ways to play. That's all good. Just use the same grip for your students. They don't need to worry about some fancy different timpani grip. It's going to sound the same for a long time anyway. Okay, ranges of the drums, approximately. First of all, what size is this?
52.
Okay, what's the range?
D to A.
D to A, typically is what we say.
They're all the fifth apart, right?
They're basically all a fifth. Yep. Hello.
We got locked down. Everybody.
Follow the drums. D to A, D below the bass clef staff, right? To A, first line of the bass clef staff. What about this drum? What size is it? 9. What's the range?
F to the fifth of F.
F to C. Good. What size is this drum? Sam? What size is this drum? 20. What you meant was.
That's 26.
Yep, there you go. Good. I knew that's what you meant. And the range is. Anyone?
B flat to F.
B flat to F. Tanner's getting extra credit points. He's doing all the work over there. How big is this drum, Eli?
23.
3. Good. And what's the range?
D to F.
D to F? That's a third.
Oh, yeah, D to A.
D
Yeah,
to A.
it's the same as the big one.
Yeah. Cool. All right, rolls. What kind of rolls?
Single stroke.
Single stroke. What about double stroke?
No.
What about bus roll?
No.
Good job. What about triple stroke roll?
What? What kind of gibberish?
That's for double advanced percussion methods.
You don't unlock that one for a while.
Oh, what? Wow, you finally give me a joke and I don't get to hear it? That hurts. That hurts, Marco. Trying my best up here. Okay. So we talked about some rolls. We talked more about sticking between two different drums. Open your books to 34A/35A.
Just make it 36.
I agree.
It's the same amount of pages.
Okay, 35A. So we have been talking about rolls. I just want to spend a couple more minutes. Hi, Maddie. Going over this. Especially in terms of stickings. Yeah. So let's actually read this little paragraph at the top on passing rolls. Tara, why don't you read the first sentence for us?
First sentence?
Yeah.
The timpanist will often be required to roll from one drum to another.
Just keep going.
Two challenges usually arise in this situation. First, if the roll is tied and cannot have a break in the sound, try to be as even as possible. As learned in step 11A, you must always shift to the next drum with the inside inside mallet first. Secondly, if the roll is tied, you will need to figure out with what hand you will release the roll. Remember to avoid cross-sticking here.
Okay, cool. Someone break that down into English for me.
Cross sticking, don't cross them. Inside mallet, which one's on the inside?
Yeah. So inside, right? Think about passing from this way to this way, right? We need to move the left hand and the opposite. Right. If we're rolling here, we want to move the right hand. Cross sticking, literally means we're crossing the stick over, which is actually something you do on timpani, but not on rolls. Because you only have 4 drums and they're really big, so sometimes you have to do a cross stick. However, I would say people avoid it for the most part. And specifically like with a beginning or even intermediate student, I wouldn't really recommend doing it unless they really have to. So hopefully you don't have to deal with that too much. Okay, in terms of looking at the stickings, let's look at number 5, right? This first line. Okay, so this is a good example of writing in stickings even when we have rolls. Okay, so okay, future band directors, what needs to happen?
Snares need to go on.
Snares. Marco, you got it.
Don't take my job.
Sure. Okay, let's go on number 5.
I do. Oh, I get to use the cool looking sticks, or do I want to use those sticks?
I'm going to use my cool looking sticks.
They really look cool. Does the sound
They do. Yeah, why don't you use the purple side?
It's not like I have some.
I've only used one purple and one white.
How do you read this from here?
They are 2-tone. I took advanced percussion methods.
Is that your answer to everything?
Yes.
Can I like stick through it? But
Yeah. Go.
I did something wrong. For some reason, this looks overly difficult.
Start on the da 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 on the
Sorry, right
A.
here?
Yes.
Oh, I see what I did.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Do it again.
Whole thing?
No, just that part. You're done. You're leaving out the quarter note.
Oh, okay. So it's
You're still leaving out the quarter note.
so it's
Two and 1, 2. Cool. Something like that.
that's weird.
Just the one hand snap. All right, Izzy, let's hear it.
Yay, Izzy.
Go BCSU music.
You know, I was doing so good till that measure too.
So good.
So good.
You were verbing.
The purple.
Use the purple. Okay, these are 2-tone mallets, so there's a soft side and a hard side.
What have you
Perfect for repertoire such as Tchaikovsky's 4th Symphony.
You should use one soft and one hard side.
Good, but it won't sound bad.
I wish I took advanced percussion methods. I can't read.
You can't read it. It's 2 notes. You play like 100 on your instrument.
I guess that's okay.
Yep,
It's
start
so
there.
simple.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Wait.
extra credit to the first person who can play
Measure.
So what?
measure 6 correctly. Measure 6 to 7. Jaden, let's get on up there. You look excited and ready to go. All right. Any comments for Izzy?
You gotta hit maybe closer to the edge.
Maybe a little bit closer to the edge. Yeah. Gotta watch where you hit the drum. At least some part of it. I know you need to look at the music. You can move it closer if you want. Use the purple side, please. Okay, so everybody has played that measure correctly. So, okay, but other than that, what would you tell Jaden?
Don't spin your mallets around the whole time.
Okay, sure, but other than that, you're not really going to have two-tone mallets ever. I just pulled them out of my bag to be annoying.
Probably easier to stand with the center of your mass between the two drums.
Exactly, thank you, Mark. So, the whole time you're focused on the 29, and your beating spots were really good on the 29, but they're kind of not so good on the 26, and that's because all of your mass was pointed that way. So yes, remember, try to keep things like centered, and you can turn your whole torso, but if you're just focused this way the whole time, it's going to be a problem, unless you're really thinking about it. One more time. Measure wrong, but 0 for 3. Who's got it? Who thinks they can do it? Maddie in the house.
Jacket is coming off.
We might break it in today.
Right before they start the honor band breakout.
I think I'd drop.
Start on the start on the 5th measure. Increasingly concerned for the youth bands.
I'm a singer, okay? I'm okay to have this problem.
You did volunteer to break the streak. So. Should we keep going? I don't know what to do at this point.
Now I'm tempted to try. Yeah, me too. Crazy.
Okay, someone needs to play that right.
You don't need your book, Tara.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if you guys know this, but it's a quarter note. And then it's 2 8 notes, and then it's it sounds like this. Ba, 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 ba.
Look at you're giving really okay with that.
Hey, you don't get the practice.
No, you don't get. Just go. This sucks. Okay.
Get someone else. Who's next? 5.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
No, I definitely had
I
it.
don't like the measure.
Yeah, but the streak isn't broken yet because it didn't
Yeah.
get it the first
Hey,
time.
at least I got it eventually.
Okay, well, thank you. Great job, you did it. Okay, so why do we think that was challenging? Let's actually think about this. It is silly.
Because when we see like a tie, we just pull through the note as like wins, and our brain don't do the whole hit twice on tie.
Yeah, I don't know what went through my mind is that like when you roll, I kind of glazed over the 8th, like it was part of the roll, and then when I hit it, I was like the left hand hit, and then I was like something isn't right here because when you release the hit, it's on the first beat, not on the end. It was just the way I looked at it.
Yeah. Okay, so what's going on with your internal pulse though? That's one question I have. This is like a bigger picture thing than just like a silly timpani roll.
I thought I was subdividing, but apparently
Are
not.
we
well.
subdividing?
Yes.
I think rolling makes it harder.
I think rolling makes it
I
harder.
agree with that because I was able to count every other beat and then it just was like
Yeah, because you're not used to. It's one thing to go 1 E and a 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and like my roll speed is completely disconnected from my sense of what the tempo is, which I understand takes practice, right? But we should still, something to think about and work on, right? Everyone's rolls are pretty metered right now. What do I mean by that?
It sounds like they're playing fast 16 notes.
Basically sounds like you're playing a 30-second note. Da, 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 or something. Yeah, I think everyone basically played a 30-second note. Which is not the end of the world, but just something to, be aware of. Also be aware that that's probably what it's going to sound like when your students play it. Right, but long term, we don't want them to sound like that. We want them to actually sound like they're sustaining and not just talk about. One is I do just want to briefly talk about cross-sticking, just so you're aware. There is a little paragraph on it. Who wants to read this little paragraph with the correct? Izzy, take it away.
wow. After trying to avoid this controversial technique for the past 3 steps, let's briefly discuss
Controversial.
What did I say?
No, I'm just reiterating it's controversial.
Oh,
You're fine.
adding emphasis. Okay.
Supporting role here. Keep going, please.
Crossing occurs when one hand and mallet goes over the other. This is usually done in faster and more rhythmic passages. The problem is the ability to maintain consistent clarity and articulation. Keeping the mallets in a good beating area is also another issue. Try a few exercises that contain some cross-stickings.
Yeah, so we're going to spend very little time on this, but I just want you to know it exists. I'm not even going to change the pitches, but essentially, so you see the X in the first exercise goes from, it's basically over the second beat in the measure. So you do this. It looks awkward, right? Most of the time, I don't like doing that because I can, the other way to do it, okay, there's a couple ways. Cross-sticking, or you can do what's called a shift, or you can do a double. So the double, I think, tends to sound the worst, so I almost never do it unless I can't think of a situation in which I would, but there's probably some situation in which I'm desperate and would do a double. But I can do a shift, which is this. Or just move both mallets in time to play the next thing. I find that to be easier than. I guess the exception would be like, I'm trying to think of the exception. I can't think of one right now, but I'm sure there's a situation in which I would do it. Let's see, B. But again, how would I actually do that? why I don't really do cross tick. But people do it. Some people are definitely more into it than others, but it exists. The hard thing, right, is doing that motion, maintaining a good beating spot, and then having your other hand come under and hit the same spot without doing that sort of thing, right? It's hard.
It looks cool though.
Anyone want to do it?
Can I try?
Sure.
I'm ready to embarrass
You
myself.
have 30 seconds, and then we're moving on from cross sticking.
So which one were you doing? The one you
I was
did?
doing, yeah, number 1.
So it's like a.
Go slower.
So it's like,
That is
so
hard.
it's like a,
Yeah, do it again. Okay, good. Cross sticking. We learned it. Everyone feels prepared to do it? Professional setting.
Oh, totally.
Basically.
Bicycle.
Basically, let me just take it.
It looks cool though.
It does look cool. I'm a hormone.
Find someone for you, not me. You wait.
I'm really worried about Izzy. She was elbowing me.
Izzy, we talked about this.
sorry, it's probably not me.
Can we do 4K piano rolls?
Okay, and then let's get back to 33A, a few pages. What am I doing on time? 30, good. Just make sure this is still going. 33A, please.
I like muffins.
I also like muffins. My daughter really likes muffins. She was very excited to have a muffin this morning.
She a blueberry muffin?
We had a lemon poppy seed.
Those are the best muffins. Good choice. Superior muffin.
Pistachio is the best muffin flavor.
Oh, pistachio's good.
muffin, but I bet it would be delightful.
They're so
Biscuits are pretty good muffins.
I love this.
Okay, 33A.
Say that one more time.
33A. Okay, Eli, why don't you read some of this for us, please?
33A muffling.
Blueberry muffins.
clarify, what's no, 79.
Special attention to note is very important in timpani playing. For instance, a quarter note would be shorter in duration than a half note, whereas a whole note would last longer than a half note.
Fucking way.
The vibration tone of the timpani can be stopped by the use of muffling. Muffling or dampening of the tone can be done by holding the mallet with the thumb and index finger while placing the other 3 remaining fingers gently near the beating area. Try to be as quiet as possible! Exclamation mark. You can either swipe the drum as if dusting it off, or press down gently in place. Muffling should be used whenever possible to distinguish note length. Also, it is needed whenever possible to stop vibrations of one drum from leaking into the tone of another drum.
Great. Thank you for that.
Tone.
If you don't tell or will use muffling, I've literally never heard somebody say that before. Everybody always said dampening.
Well, Elizabeth,
Yeah.
it's possible you don't have the widest breadth of experience.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, people definitely say muffling as well. I would say I'd call it 50-50.
Okay.
No offense. Yes, people use both words.
No, it's actually 2 different things.
They call it shaboozable.
Okay, so I know we're giggling at his sentence that is sort of the Captain Obvious sentence. However, I will say this is a relevant sentence to timpani playing for a couple of reasons. Okay, sort of. I mean, the way he put it is not the most articulate, but timpani, length note with timpani is tricky because composers are very bad about writing the correct note length on timpani. And he doesn't so much go into it in this because this is like a beginning book in it. it might not be such a problem because with your situations, because you know, when you're doing like beginning band literature and it's actually pedagogically graded and reviewed and stuff, they tend to do a better job of weeding the stuff out. But essentially there's like no consistency with note length and timpani parts, especially like old stuff. So if you play any like classical era symphony, which I know is not what you're doing with your students, but I'm just giving you context for how timpani writing developed. The note lengths are like completely disconnected from what they're actually supposed to be. So like you'll have a bunch of half notes, but they're actually like with the brass, and the brass are playing like staccato, you know, attacks on those. Or you have eighth notes written and it's the opposite, the brass are actually playing like a long note. And you're definitely supposed to be matching the brass. It's not like the composer was like trying to do some weird thing with articulation. They just like, there was no standard for what to do back then. So it's just completely like a shit show as far as like what the length is supposed to be. So you have to figure it out based on using your ears and like knowing repertoire and stuff. Okay, so hopefully it's not such a problem for us, but still thinking about note length is tricky because, you know, again, like every other instrument we have, note length is weird in percussion, right? We have this drum that we hit, and this one sustains. It's not like a snare drum where we hit it and it's done, but it also doesn't sustain consistently. You know, it's a different, the sound starts to die, and sometimes it's too long, sometimes it's not long enough, so it is tricky. But dampening and muffling can help with this by trying to make things more clear. So the important thing here, two things. So one, the technique he describes, right? We're still holding the stick with these two fingers, our fulcrum, and we're dampening with the rest of our hand. He says dampening with these fingers, which I guess is true, but most of the time I'm actually using sort of this part of my hand and not necessarily those three fingers. Okay, so the important thing, everyone's gonna be like, oh, this is awkward when they try it in a second, is that we're keeping the stick in place so that it doesn't, you don't want to hit the drum again with the stick, right? We don't want that sort of thing. Okay, so we need to avoid that. We're going to hit, we're going to move our hands to where we just hit, we're going to stop the sound, and then we're done.
What's the swipe style?
So, I actually, I don't know why you wrote that, because that's something I always tell students not to do, because the point of dampening or muffling is to stop the sound. So if you're actually adding additional sound, then that's bad, right? Now, lots of times in context, you can't necessarily hear that because whatever, there's still a band or orchestra playing, so it might not be a huge deal, but my pet peeve is when students are working on muffling and it's like just let it ring if you're gonna do that, you know? Okay, we're trying to make it stop the sound as quietly as possible. It is hard to do, so like I'm fine with it. It's like we're trying, but like let's not. Like I could write a whole piece.
Starts to think about the photo sound of pressure.
Your hands are the brush sticks now.
Exactly. I am the drum. Okay. So occasions on which we do this.
Piano tuners.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm messing with it. Okay. So in letter A, this is just showing like, okay, we have a half note.
Bet. Let me do it right now.
Marco, your turn.
Oh, I said something.
I don't even know if you're making fun of me or not, but it's your turn.
I'm making fun of the class.
Oh, the jacket is coming off. He's ready to count.
Well, you said that about me, but it wasn't as successful as it could have been, so. We're supportive.
And also very confidently said that to the part that didn't do it right, so.
Oh shoot, that's crap. That's fine. Like rain or something like that. That's pretty good. Cool. Count us off so we know what your pulse is. 2, 3, 4. Okay, not bad. Any comments? Elizabeth, what could you do better?
I should have been paying more close attention, to be honest with you.
Means that was perfect.
Okay, sure. All right, Alexis, let's try it.
Oh, my neck hurt. I'm focused.
I was like, I'm gonna get lost.
Pretty compelling compositional voice here. Good, except for you skipped the rest.
I did.
But the muffling was good. Dampening was good. Cool. All right, who hasn't played today? Sam. You have?
In his mind.
Okay, why don't you play again then? We're all warmed up, so.
Sam actually just got back from a Timpani lesson this morning. That's why we were late. So.
Oh yeah, you should take a tipping lesson with.
My mom. We actually used to play catch in the backyard.
Replace any swallow in Sam's back.
Yeah, that's fun. And the challenge.
His pole challenge.
Whole challenge.
All right, Sam, let's do B. Up in the ante. 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1.
I like that.
I heard your subdivisions and I'm like, why do we speed up?
Yeah, it was definitely my fault. Let's do all of B again. 1, 2, ready, go. Cool. Okay, right idea, yeah. Okay, so what happens in letter C? Exercise in C.
Dampen when you play.
Yes. So oftentimes that's actually what I'm doing. One thing I will say is if I actually had this passage written, like letter A, let's say I actually had a part that was letter A, I might not do any dampening. I would listen to see what's going on. And especially if I have a half note anyway, I might just let it ring. Especially if there's other stuff happening. In letter B, I'm more likely, if I really see the composer has gone out of their way to write like an eighth note and an eighth rest, I'm assuming they want the note short. So I would be inclined to immediately dampen there. But again, I'm listening to what's happening. If I'm playing a passage and it's completely with the brass section and they're playing that exact rhythm that's written in letter B, I'm definitely going to dampen on all those same spots. However, if they're actually playing something different, but my hits are with them, I would just follow what they do. Okay. Okay, letter C. Elizabeth. We'll see. I like that you guys are matching today. Is it twin day?
Oh my gosh, no, we're just like on the same mental wavelength, I guess.
Yeah. Wearing the same clothes, coming to class late.
Okay, I was only here a few minutes late, and then all the doors were locked, and then Izzy didn't answer my phone.
The outside doors were locked?
He was
Well, no, the
focused
doors
on
on the-
Timpani.
All the
All the
doors to
rehearsal
this
hall.
room were trapped. I'm like, where everybody? Why not? I can't read.
That seemed to be. Okay, let's do letter C.
Okay.
Elizabeth. Or should we say Elena?
No, that's the Timpani player today.
Oh my gosh, me is Elena. Okay. That was it.
Count us off so we know what your pulse is.
Oh,
1, I'll count you off
Okay,
so I know what your
perfect.
pulse is. 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm toe fair. So it was good, but you know, we should have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so hopefully you can hear very little of the actually dampening sound. Because I'm doing it right at the hit. And actually a lot of times what I do is I do it ever so slightly after the hit, so you really can't hear it. That's the pro move.
It's advanced progression.
Advanced progression method. Right, there we go. That's hard. Anyone else want to try some muffling? Get on up here.
I'm gonna become a professional soon.
So I've seen Timpanists before, like on videos that I've watched where they wear gloves.
Wearing gloves.
Yeah, because they do so much dampening and they like the director didn't want to hear the fingertip touch. Is that safe?
Never seen that or heard of that in my life.
You did some to me.
Sounds like they need to practice their dampening.
Let's see how coordinated I am for this.
Apparently not very.
And the pro level is going down and down every time I play.
Close.
Not good, but close.
So I know it looks easy to just bang these big drums on 1 and 3, but do you guys have I been building empathy for the percussionists in the wild?
No.
No.
They've been doing this their whole life, they're fine.
What about the ones that haven't?
They're in 6th grade. They literally just started. They're like 11 years old.
That's their fault. They didn't start at 4.
Their own
Take out
problems.
lessons if you wanted to be a mind
Get older faster.
Yeah, for my beginner band, you need at least 6 years of experience.
Well, good luck running a pro.
But just keep in mind, right? I know you guys think about this with your other methods courses, I'm sure, but just keep in mind they have to do all of this stuff, but they don't read music or know how anything works yet. Okay, you guys, I think, although I had some doubts earlier, know how music works. Right?
Do we?
You guys know, in your brains at least, how rhythms work. You know how to read pitches fine, or at least you can know what to do to figure it out if you are confused in the moment. Right, I know we're being a little silly, but like seriously, you guys know how music works. You have all these skills and abilities, and it's still hard for you because it's like a totally new physical thing you're doing with your body. These kids are 10 or 11 or 12, whatever, and they're in less control of their bodies, right? They're kids. They have to learn a new thing, and they don't know how any of it works yet. And their attention spans are even worse than yours. Okay. So just keep it in mind. I mean, I don't like working with that age range, not because I don't think it's extremely valuable and rewarding, but because I don't have the skills to do it in a way that like I can sustain it for a whole year. It's really hard, I think. So, you know, good for you guys for doing it, because somebody's got it. It's an important job, but it's very hard. It's very hard. I have the easy job. Okay, who else wants to try muffling? Tara, get on up. How are we doing on time? You got 3 minutes left.
Sticks.
Okay. I don't know, man.
Can you do letter B, please?
Can I do letter B? I can try really hard.
Okay, try your best.
Oh God.
Cool.
I don't like that.
Yeah. It's hard. Okay, so I think the most important thing to keep in mind, good job, I'll take the sticks. You did great. I do think one thing that's important to keep in mind is like big picture when you actually need to dampen, and like what's the most important time to dampen?
Right after you hit start the next one.
Okay, you guys are thinking too like microscopy. And the big, what?
The end of the
Yeah, the end of the piece.
Oh.
Okay. The band section that's, and it's silence, and it's supposed to be the quiet part of the piece now. The flute's supposed to have their little solo, and they're throwing dirty looks back at the timpani.
Yeah, Izzy.
So mean.
Flute.
Yep. Okay. The most important times to actually dampen are when there's really something rhythmic happening and it's confusing if we don't dampen, and at the end of like loud pieces or loud sections, right, when something else is happening that we're covering it up. So if your students can just do those situations at least to start, you're gonna be in good shape. They don't need to be dampening every time they have a quarter note. The stuff like letter C is actually like not what they need to do most of the time, so just keep that in mind. Okay. On Tuesday, let's do a timpani quiz. We reviewed pretty much everything today.
Which is it auxiliary time?
It's almost auxiliary time.
Symbol time.
Symbols.
Oh.
I'm bringing earplugs.
So quiz on Tuesday. The one thing, just right before we go, I would actually like you guys to record a timpani etude. Does that seem doable, considering you have to get in the band room?
Depends on how much time we have.
If I give you guys like a full week,
It should be doable, yeah.
like by next Friday.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like this weekend.
This weekend.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow. I'll make it do.
You should put in a request to keep the band room unlocked though.
It normally is.
It isn't past 9 unless the door, or past 5
As
unless
somebody
the.
who's in the band room past 9, multiple times a week, it usually is.
Okay. Cool. So let's make that happen.